Who am I? Martin. Independent.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Check my Instagram. I don't have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We see your press.
I don't have a press.
Then we're going to ask this guy on the block. I think.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
He doesn't have a press. Is it a nonsense?
Yeah. Someone have been asking for a press card. You don't need one. You're in a public sidewalk. I can interview whoever I want. Yeah. So now this is the second time someone checking who I am. We're gonna follow this man. Oh! Are you sure? So these are the two men pushing me for no reason. Good morning, everyone. We're right outside here now in London, England. Just outside here now as well. Originally from Park Lane. Here now as well for the Together Alliance protest. Different groups coming together then as well. A lot of it as well is meant to be against the far right. One of the main things as usual is to try and get as many interviews as we can, obviously with different people, and see what their point of views are. Furthermore then from that as well, we're actually trying to have a little look around and see how many... Madam, do you want to have a chat? Oh, very nice. First of all, how are you today?
I'm doing all right, thank you. It's a great environment to be in, I think.
Yeah, very nice so far. Can you tell the audience at home why are you here today?
I'm here today personally because I really hate to see what the far right is doing to this country, and it's just fostering such an environment of hate and divisiveness, and I think it's really important to show people that not everyone in this country is for Nigel Farage and what he wants to do here. Some of us are for unity, some of us are for peace, some of us are for love and respect for every single human being, no matter who they are or where they come from.
So for you, could you see to be making peace then as well? Do you want to make a intentional effort with everyone to say, look, even if we disagree, can we at least come together on certain things as well?
I think it's peace and change, and I think something that I really want to see in kind of this block of people is kind of trying to invite people in and show them that, because I think the left especially is very demonized in a lot of different medias, and I think it's important that people know that we are just as for unity as you are. We want to teach and we want to learn and we want to educate, and we just want that unity, because without it, it's gonna tear our country apart.
So your main concerns then as well is really saying that, look, if we can't talk with each other, sit down, have a conversation, ultimately everything will fall apart.
I think that's true, yeah, because if you don't talk and if you don't have this open bridge of communication with the other side, you can't expect there to be valid change. And this movement, I think this, especially today, I think it's just showing those people who are afraid right now and who are worried about what's going on in the media or in all the different wars. I think it's important to show people that we're not all against everyone. Yeah. There can be tolerance and there can be love and there can be a voice for against the far right.
Do you think that one of the main concerns then is really to make sure that not just everyone else, far right, yourself, everyone, that everyone can have tolerance then, or a space to say, look, we might disagree with each other, but there's a way in which we can treat each other that unites us?
I think tolerance is very important, because at the end of the day, everyone just wants to be respected as a human being and have human rights. And I think if we respect those, the rest just follows. Yeah. But I think it is also important to recognise that we can't tolerate the hatred of other people simply for being who they are. And I think that's where the tolerance kind of has to meet the respect. Because if we just tolerate the far right, and if we just let them go around doing and saying and hating everyone they want, that's just going to spread hatred, and we don't want that.
Okay. Well, for you as well, would you more consider the far right to be a person or a group of people as well? And how would you feel like you would categorise them? If people were looking at home, they said, what is the far right? You're saying this is what it is.
I would categorise the far right as a movement. It's very inclusive as a movement, which is what I think makes it dangerous, because you can be, for example, you can be a racist, which is one of the far right beliefs, but you can not be homophobic, and you can still be a part of the far right. It's a very inclusive movement, because it's centered around fear. And I think what the far right does is it capitalizes on this fear of, whether it be of immigrants or of of like gay people or anyone who isn't similar to you, and it uses that fear of your life and yourself, and it weaponizes it against those groups of people, which isn't fair, but it's not always entirely their fault either, because people just want answers, and I understand that.
So it's more in the sense that it comes from a core message of people who are different in whatever capacity that is. They're the enemy, you're the good person, and then to use that to ultimately get what someone else wants.
It weaponizes community, exactly.
Okay. And for you as well, you're more like, look, we can have differences, but how can we come together to make it as best as possible?
Exactly, best as possible for everyone is what I want.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Hey guys, so just a very quick interview straight away, which was really, really nice. Obviously then, one of the main points as well circulating around, obviously, is then, defining the far right. What does it mean? What are people saying that they think it means then as well? This is really important, obviously. We come together as brothers and sisters, obviously, to try and find out what people are also campaigning against or for. But obviously, very nice chat. It's, obviously, if you're mistreating someone based on their race, I would stand against it. Obviously then, if it is a group, you would then have to, for me at least, demonstrate that it is the entirety of the group, or maybe that they're kind of misusing some people's fear then as well to guide it. But ultimately a really, really good first interview. So let's see if we can get some more anyway, and let's have a look at the crowd. Woo! Tons of different flags here now as well. Free Palestine flag as well. Socialist Workers' Party. Together we can stand the far right. Sir, can I get a little bit of your sign? This gentleman is just next to me. Together we can stop the far right, smash the fascists. Refugees welcome. So we have a lovely little sign here saying racism doesn't equal patriotism. So here we have a full group then as well. The first part obviously is just have a little look at the signs. Obviously racism doesn't equal patriotism. It's okay to be kind. Absolutely. We are all immigrants. Make fascism wrong again, and sorry. If you don't use your voice, others will use your silence. Neutrality aids wickedness. I agree indeed. Very quickly and very generally, why are you here today?
We're here today to make a stand against the far right and the hate and division that they espouse, and to show that people care about unity and community.
So for you really is about bringing people together, not driving them apart, and ultimately to kind of bring together a country that can be for the majority of people.
That's right, yes. 100%. You said it.
Thank you so much. Full credit to me then as well. Same for yourself?
Pretty much. You look at the world, you think if we all bandied together and we all want the same thing, ultimately, understand that some people are finding another way, but we're trying to convince them that this is the right path, and that if we work together, and maybe the common enemy is a much smaller group of people who are actually exploiting most of us.
I completely agree. One of the main things I already found, I just had another interview with a very lovely woman, and she kind of just said, like, I really want to make sure that we are as tolerant as the others as well, to make sure that we're also holding space for views that we really don't agree with. In fact, that you may feel very upset about, but to make sure that we are the example that we're asking for then as well. Do you feel the same about that, or is there certain kind of views maybe that you say, look, no matter what it is, I find it hard to accept that?
Well, of course it's hard, but we do have to try and overcome that. I think it's wonderful that there are so many different groups marching, and we don't all align. Of course we don't. But again, it's, you tolerate, and we have common ground. Yeah.
Very much so. Same for yourself?
Yes.
I was about to say, if you want to join in, by all means.
I'd agree, yeah.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Totally.
Yeah. Same as well. We're
No, I don't agree. I don't agree.
You don't agree? We love, yes, a dissent in the ranks. What do you think? Tell me.
I think there's reactionary positions that will always threaten society, and they must, universally be opposed. And if they're not, then, woe is us.
Yeah.
So.
You mean reactionary in terms of it's an illogical reaction, as in they're not really thinking, it's fear or something else possibly driving someone, and they're just responding off of that?
I would say more it's self-interest, it's greed, it's ignorance, it's all these failures of being a person that don't that threaten everyone else in society.
Yeah, 100%. And so for everyone else back home, all right, they've never seen any of this march, they don't know anything about what you're fighting against. How would you summarize the far right? Because I just asked this today as well. Is it a person, people, a movement? Is there certain core ideas that you think this is what makes them that you can identify what you believe makes someone far right? I feel an answer, Marie.
Sorry, yes, I would. I think that they espouse violence and they espouse exclusion, and that's what I oppose.
So violence and exclusion. So in terms of saying, we can be in this, you can't, or vice versa, essentially, and also using force or unjustifiable force then to bring it about.
Yeah.
Same as what?
I think they always just try and find a scapegoat to blame all their problems on.
So rather than saying, look, it's us or it's actually this, we're just going to pick an easier target maybe.
Yeah, and so obviously now it's like immigrants, but before it was Jews, and yeah, it's gone on for a while.
It's just always trying to find something to be angry about and something that they don't agree with, even though they could be fighting for things to make better, even though they're not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm with her. I think we all, at the end of the day, like Sarah said earlier, we all want the same thing, and I think they are trying to blame like other people for problems that aren't really as important as us actually just trying to fight for peace and happiness.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it's more saying as well that, you know, you want to come together, understanding that there are problems and maybe the solutions aren't, as we put forward earlier, not actually picking a vulnerable target, and also then as well actually not using violence to get those means. Is that
Yeah, there are bigger issues at stake. There's obviously the climate crisis, which is our biggest existential threat, and we should all be right now bandying together to try and resolve that for the sake of humanity at large.
So even though you're here today, of course, rallying together with the Together Alliance, even though you understand that it's against the far right, you're saying like we are here today, but the bigger issue is climate change ultimately.
I would say yes.
I would agree.
That's a
with
concern.
Harry.
Well, are we feeling it's okay if you don't agree?
No,
we just had a dissenter a minute ago.
The climate crisis is the biggest crisis.
No, 100. You have
He
to.
does agree. He does agree. This time
I
he's on
agree.
board.
This time I chose the party line.
He chose the party line. Okay, fair enough. It's same. Oh, hello there. Same for yourself. Sorry, I'm excluding
I
you
didn't
now.
actually hear what she was saying about.
Sorry. So, one of the main issues then as well, if we were trying to define how we pick about the far right, some of the key issues then as well is obviously picking on vulnerable groups, would be violence as well, and then also ultimately that actually this isn't even the biggest issue, what even's being protested now, but it's actually climate change.
No, well, yeah, sure, definitely.
Agree with that. Would you feel then as well for yourself that there are any other kind of core tenets or core messages that you'd be able to determine this is what makes someone far right for you?
It's really it. I mean, that's a huge question.
I know. I'm sure that's what we're here. You know,
It's a huge question.
That's the whole point.
I think the thing is that there seems like there's there's people who espouse to believe a lot of the things that the far right want to sell them, and weirdly, I feel like often those people are being exploited by a top layer of billionaires who own the newspapers, who stoke hatred and are just enriching themselves to perpetually keep people oppressed and therefore finding scapegoats. And it's just this never-ending loop, basically.
So rather than getting the actual truth, you're getting a part of it turned into a particular story, and then basically that's what people's getting fed. Would it be fair though also to say, or a little bit of pushback, would it be fair then to say as well, because obviously big organisation, the BBC included, that would obviously be, you know, quite a powerful one. Would you consider that in some ways, look, it can't be completely unbiased, that would be an impossibility?
Yeah, my feeling with the BBC is we will regret if we ever lose the BBC.
Yeah.
We are incredibly lucky to have it. BBC does not just in this country but all over the world. And my feeling is I shout at the BBC too. And if the right are shouting at the BBC and the left are shouting at the BBC, then the BBC is doing its job.
Right.
And it is, you know, obviously it's very hard to be completely impartial.
I argue it's an impossibility. Even myself,
Yeah.
anyone here, I'd argue, could never be completely unbiased.
But it's not even about unbiasedness, it's about reflecting both sides. So if you think of it like that, about reflecting both sides, then naturally you're going to be opposed to some of the things you hear. But at least you're not completely in an echo chamber all the time.
Fair enough,
So that's the key.
So it would be more in the sense to accept, look, I totally agree that there's bias, but if we can have essentially balance.
Balance. Yeah.
Yeah, that was enough. Thank you very much. So guys, just come out now with another lovely interview then as well. Really good points. Oh, sorry there. Sorry. Another really good interview then as well, of really a group actually. And like I'm saying, just general points kind of coming around. One of the main things that is really interesting is obviously, as you already heard there, even within the group, is that, you know, people have slightly different opinions. I think that's really important then as well, is obviously that we can come together and decide, you know, ultimately, we agree on some things, we don't agree on other. there is kind of trying to clarify up what does essentially make someone or a group of people far right. We're getting different messages, so hopefully we might find a sense of unity within that definition to kind of say, okay, this is what makes someone far right, and then you kind of move from that. But hopefully it keeps going. I can see, sense any chance of it. All I can just see at the corner of my eye is someone eyeing me down. Hello there, first of all, how are you all today?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Very, very good. Very straightforward. Could you tell me why you're here today?
Well, as it says, for hope and unity, and to counter what is a really, pernicious kind of far-right narrative in this country, which shouldn't be accepted. And because I'm really proud of London and where I live and its diversity. Those are the reasons I'm here today. Thank you. Yeah.
So for you, it's more in the sense of really, look, I love the variety that surrounds me in life, and then on top of that as well, that there's something slowly that's creeping up over time, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you obviously want to do your due diligence as you feel and push back against it.
That's the kind of rewording of what I said, but yeah.
Oh yeah. But you're always trying to paraphrase. It's like a good relationship, isn't it? It's like someone says something, you say something back, is it, to make sure? And for yourself as well?
Yeah, very same. Really proud of the rich diversity of our city. I love it, and just want to counter the kind of horrible narratives of reform and the far right who just seek to demonise people from ethnic minorities.
Right. Same for yourself as well, lads?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, what was
sorry,
it?
Putting it closer to you. I'm sorry.
Sorry, what question were you asking?
Why are you here today?
Oh, I mean, yeah, because to oppose the far right, because they're doing a lot of things that are wrong, and also because it's just such a great, so many people coming together. It's just really nice, and it's just a really good thing to be part of, and to and also to so I can help out, because obviously I'm a steward. So yeah,
perfectly fine. Can I ask a qualifying question that I've done to everyone so far as well? If you could, someone's at home, they've no idea, they've never heard of the far right before in their life, what would be one of the things that you would believe would categorise them as that? Because obviously, if we name people, great, but how would you be able to say, is it a person, a group, is it a certain type of ideology, do they think certain things? What would you say in terms of that?
I think if you were to characterise the far right, you'd probably have older, white, middle and working class people who have a vision of a Britain that never existed, but they feel threatened and concerned. And I think what we have to do is just to kind of take that fear away and say, look, it's not something to fear, it's something to celebrate and find richness in diversity.
Yeah. So for you, it really is that thing, a great variety that you're absolutely happy with. What do you think the fear is about?
Fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. As in just because they're strangers, we don't know them, therefore...
Don't know the culture, don't know the attitudes, the values.
Right.
And because you don't know and you fear that, and then you demonise them.
Right.
Rather than kind of going, I don't know that, I could be curious, I could find out, I could learn more, and I could say, oh wow, there's some really cool things to know about these different cultures and societies.
Okay, perfect. So what about yourself as well, sir? Would you feel the same or something maybe different?
I think what characterises somebody with an opinion that you might call far right is to have an opinion where you believe that some type of people are more valuable or acceptable than others, and that's a completely unacceptable view to me. And I think my friend is right. I think that a lot of that is driven by fear and hatred, and it's good to try and counter that with kindness and love.
Do you think it's just fear of the unknown, or do you think it is, as you said before earlier, it's possibly white, it's middle working class? Do you think then as well that there's a racial component, and do you think it's just something else, or is it just maybe something simpler because it's a stranger or anything like that?
I think there are lots of legitimate tensions in the country that relate to kind of poverty and inequality, but what's not acceptable is people using those tensions to promulgate a kind of view that is unequal in the way in which it considers people's right to exist.
Yeah. So for you, it really comes down to as well at the end of the day that even though you can understand that people might be afraid, you acknowledge that there's problems. You don't say that there isn't, but that obviously that there's a way forward towards it, and maybe what people are doing at the moment is, in your eyes, possibly even immoral. It would be wrong.
There is a way forward, and I think most people in this country are accepting of that way forward. I think we are a tolerant kind of nation, and one of the reasons I'm here is because I don't like the kind of culture of this country being hijacked by people who have a narrow-minded political agenda that is often full of hatred, and I'm not prepared to accept that.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, the same question to you as well. I'm moving around quite a bit here already. For you, would you think that you'd be able to list certain characteristics, anything like that, that would make someone far right? Would you think?
I think the main way I would classify the far right is through division and exclusivity. Because why we're able to come out in like such numbers today and like in such force is because like anyone's welcome here. Like when you see all those far right rallies, straight white man rallies, they're so only meant for a very specific group of people, which is why they're never that strong. Because even if the people there have like a very opinionated about what they're doing, like there is such a I guess it's such a esoteric appeal that ultimately they can never get too far because so many people aren't welcome.
So you feel exclusivity in terms of that you have to look a particular way. Do you think it's like racially? Do you think it's ethnically?
Well, yes, racially and ethnically, but also just background, like traditional values, like a idea of like nationalism and like a certain way of living that ultimately very few people conform to. Even some of the people who would say they're far right probably don't fit a lot of like the quote unquote expectations that they're supposed to. So, but yeah, I mean, those people are often like straight, white, older, often male.
So do you think you're agreeing on this? You're agreeing on this. So do you think it's very much a particular type of profile of a person that basically has these views? Do you think you know why maybe they have them?
It can be like from growing up with that just in your family, I think, and it's just, you know, over time you have that kind of confirmation bias in that echo chamber of you have a lot of people around you that kind of feel the same way, and sort of it just seems kind of normal. So it can come from like a really just young place, kind of juvenile, and then sort of, you know, over time that kind of builds. It kind of, because it's such an early period of your time, you're, you know, building your personality and your political views. So yeah, but it's just sort of, you know, trying to be aware, trying to like look at news, read different things, you know. No one wants to like press an agenda, but, you know, it's just being aware, really.
Do you think then as well, from your own point of view, that, you know, you're asking obviously, you know, for this kind of place of unity, do you think that you have it in yourselves as well to actually hold that for people who have different views than your own?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
he's in again.
Even if I don't agree with you, is part of like, because even though we're all against the far right, like there's obviously so many like sections of this march, and I'm sure everyone has. I'm sure there are some people with very different views, even like amongst the left and amongst people who oppose the far right. So like, even if someone has views I don't agree with, I can't really like condescend, because that would be stooping to their level.
Yeah, I think this is a big sort of show of that, because we're just Woodcroft Folk. We're just a youth group, a political youth group, and behind us is the Christian and Quaker groups, and behind them is the LGBTQ groups, and behind them is the Jewish groups. So it's sort of, it's a whole section, and we've all come together. You know, there's everyone's being really kind to each other. We're stewarding, and everyone's been amazing so far. So yeah, it feels like a really good sense of unity, and obviously people have different views, but it's just great to see everyone being sort of really positive.
Perfect. So thank you so much, gentlemen. Okay, just making our way through the crowd now as well, guys. Just had a lovely more interviews then as well of different people come together, different causes, different opinions, again trying to get some more clarity for everyone about what different people are thinking and why. I think it's the most important part. More signs up ahead. See if we can get now. Do we like the suit?
Yeah, it's all right. It's very blue.
You like the suit?
I like the suit. I think it looks all right.
Yeah. No, it's all right. It's all right.
Thank you very much. Why are you here today?
I don't know. Why are we here today? We're here today to try and show just how many people are against the rising tide of fascism in this country, and how we won't stand for it. It's the long and short of it. I am quite tired so I'm perhaps not as eloquent as I might usually be, but yeah.
No, that's fine. Same as well, or something different?
I'm against fascism.
Against fascism,
yeah.
So for you, is it because you feel like there's a growing amount of people who are slowly becoming a fascist?
I think there's lots of people who are, I think the far right are manipulating people who see the material conditions of their lives getting worse and are trying to make sense of that and to do whatever they can to improve their lives and so they're in a vulnerable place. And so these people come in and go, do you know what, it's these people, it's the Muslims, or in the past it's been it's because of the Irish, or it's because of the blacks, or it's because of, and they just choose a group and go, it's because of them, and I'm against that. I think the problems are structural, not any one group or any one person.
Do you feel then more so then that if it's an immaterial or a material problem, that for you it's actually these people are being taken advantage of then?
I think they're being abused, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the questions I keep asking everyone to get more clarity on it, do you think that there's any certain criteria, certain characteristics that you would believe this defines someone as far right? Is it a person, people, movement? What is it exactly?
That's hard to say. I'm not entirely sure. I think there's a lot of things. I think it's the ethno-nationalism. I think it's white supremacy. I think it's anyone who uses any other group to say these are the problem. These are the people who are your problem, and that we're using this source of distraction to take you away from the idea that the problem is the fucking system.
Right. So for you believe it's the system in terms of like the entire British government or the way things are run?
I think it's capitalism is a vehicle for class exploitation.
Right.
So I think it's that.
Right, so capitalism for you then as well. And then also to push back, you feel that although the far right are targeting certain people and groups, even though this is what you're doing as well, you feel though it's justified because you're pushing back against that group itself?
Yeah, I think I'm not against the people, who would be reform voters.
Right.
I'm against the people who are abusing the people who are saying, vote for us, we'll get rid of them, and then your life will get better as a result.
Right. So these people are clearly being taken advantage of in your eyes, and basically you're saying it's actually coming from the top down, and from that people are saying your conditions are bad, these people are the reason why, and you're saying, well, that's not true, and we're against that.
I'm saying that. Yeah, that is why I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, brother. There is an absolutely enormous crowd. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. So as you can see here, we're literally filled up as far as the eye can see so far, almost like a horizon of people. And so there's all different flags as well. There's some more Free Palestine, Jewish Bloc for Palestine. Together, which is saying, seeing Earth from space was a powerful experience that made me feel connected to all living things on our planet. This gentleman's about to say something to me.
Girls against fascism.
Sorry, I have to get that one out. This gentleman, out of all the signs, points out one that says "Hot Girls for Fascism." Thank you so much.
Against fascism.
Oh, sorry. Hot Girls Against Fascism. My apologies. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just making sure I'm well informed. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys. We're just basically going to have a little look then as well. Massive amount of people. Woo! Huge amount of people then as well. Literally gone all the way up to the end of the street, stretching all the way back then as well. They have absolutely massive flags. There's more hot people support human rights. A lot of hot people flags. It's just the way it's going at the moment. Hot girls hate fascism. Spaceship, I'm not sure what that one is about. I think we have, is that Lebanon? Refugees. Hate never wins. We're going to get a very sparkly sign as well, I must add. Yeah, this lady has decided to go out for a very sparkly flag as well. Sir, are you up for a 30-second conversation?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, so then. I love it. Why not?
Why not?
Why are you here today?
I'm here because I'm scared. I'm not very happy with how the world's going.
Okay.
I think we need to stand up and let people know that there are more happy voices than there are hurtful ones.
Right, 100%. Is it anything in particular? Because everyone, although there's a vast group of people here today, are all, from what I can tell so far, and maybe you feel the same or different, that they're coming against the far right. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I think that's the general umbrella we're under. There are lots of different groups.
Yeah.
You can see in the blocks we've got trade unions, Jewish Bloc for Palestine, Green Party, lots of different groups, but they're here together to unite under that banner of against hatred and against the far right in the broad sense.
For you then as well, I've been asking everyone this, always get clarity because I think it's what helps the most. How would you define far right?
Well, they are difficult terms to describe.
Right.
And for example, for me, I'm most concerned about the rise of what I describe as fascistic politics.
Right.
Not necessarily fascism.
Okay.
Because that's a very difficult term to define. And actually each iteration of what could be described as fascism takes its own unique kind of style, depending on the we're not going to go through the same situation as post-World War I Germany. It's not the same economic, social situation. So it's going to be different each time it comes up. For me, it's the disinformation and the hatred towards refugees. And as I say to people, I can agree to some extent that the way that immigration is being handled at the moment is a problem. I don't think that's the fault of the people fleeing war.
So you do feel like you can acknowledge you're saying that, look, I do think that, immigration here at the moment is not being handled well. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think the issue lies not with the people who are fleeing war, which is quite often countries we have previously been involved in bombing, or currently are. It's not their fault, because I would do exactly the same if my family was under attack. I think it's the system that is broken.
Right.
But the money is going more towards sending planes and support to, Israel, and they've been sending planes to support the genocide. Why is the money being spent on that, not helping these people who want to come here? They want to work and contribute. They don't want to be stuck in hotels. It's not fair on them, and it's not fair on the people who are paying for it. I can agree that there are lots of issues, but we're scared about how they're addressing those issues. They're turning to hatred, not logic.
So for you as well, the refugee crisis or problem, whatever we want to call it, you do feel it is something that needs to be addressed. Do you think, and I hate to use the word because it sounds a bit too fluffy for me, but humanely, or you think we need to be more kind, or do you think, look, we can have a limit, we don't know what that limit is, and then after that we say, this is how much we can take in, year out. Is that more an approach?
Look, I mean, I'm not a politician, so I couldn't.
That's fine, yeah,
I don't know all the
point,
numbers.
yeah.
I could say a limit, but I'd be spewing out my arse. And actually, realistically, we do have enough support. And everyone says, social housing, for example, they say there's not enough houses, and we can't take more people in because there's not enough houses. There are homeless people that need to be housed here already. Completely agree.
Yeah.
But if you look, the right to buy, originally a Labour policy, but massively kind of enhanced, kind of made bigger by Thatcher, that has decimated the social housing stock. And you have tower blocks, places like London, that were once social housing where people were proud to live, that has now been slowly acquired by right to buy, which, fair play, I probably would if I was in the same position. But then as they move on, it gets sold to the private landlords. We had plenty of social housing. It's now in the hand of private landlords, and not just your guy who owned a flat in the family and is renting it out. The big national, multinational kind of corporate portfolio landlords.
Could I ask a quick question then? Mm-hmm. Would it also be possible then as well to say that if someone's selling their houses, that as law maybe we could come together and say we prohibit it being sold to landlords, and that would solve that problem?
Potentially, it's something to discuss, isn't it? There are loads of different things you can discuss. That's why we live in a democracy, isn't it? We discuss these things, we talk about it, we find the best solution for all.
Yeah, 100%. Perfect, thank you so much, brother. Now hopefully we just turn around as well, see an absolute clump of people, which is always nice. We have Stand Up to Racism Pose, Tommy Robinson, and I think it's Amnesty International then as well. And I'm unsure, Red Flag, I can't see the rest of it. And there's another one saying no to war, no to Islamic regime of Iran. Matt, can I get 30 seconds?
You may, who are you?
Thank you, Martin Galligan. But Martin Galligan with an Irish accent. Independent.
Okay,
yeah. Can you tell me very quickly why you're here today?
Like everyone else, because we care passionately for peace, because we're worried about the far right and the misinformation they're putting out, and we want to balance things up and hopefully persuade enough people, especially with the May elections coming up, that they listen carefully to what people are saying and vote intelligently and stand against racism and against hatred. You don't get a just and equal society by hating people. You get it by listening and uniting. I defend their right to say it, I defend free speech, but we also have to have our voice heard and heard strongly. And although it's very frustrating that we haven't moved an inch yet, it's just delightful.
That's actually true. They really have not moved that much at all. I've been recording for 41 minutes almost right now, and they haven't.
This is a standstill for peace at the moment, but we're here. And isn't it wonderful that there are so many thousands that we're still waiting to move off? So the support, thank you, every single person who's here. It is fantastic.
What would you say to anyone who's viewing this at home and they're wondering what are they standing here for? What is the far right? Would you think that you'd be able to categorise them? Are they a person, people? Are they a particular cause? Do they have a particular way of thinking?
I don't think you can label them that simply. I think it's very broad. There are some people who have a clear agenda of hatred, but for others they have their own concerns and they are being persuaded by rhetoric, by false arguments, by misinformation, because perhaps their lives aren't as they would want them to be, and getting behind, what we would label as far right. It's a huge discussion. You can't sum it up in 10 seconds, but there's no simple single answer.
We have another voice.
An Irish voice.
An Irish voice as well. But
Tribalism.
Tribalism.
Yes, it is narrow view of humanity based on characteristics that are irrelevant.
So do you think that some people are coming together because, as you said previously, their lives maybe aren't going as well as they'd hope, and then because of that then as well, someone's seeing that and misusing it essentially? Misusing as in people's fear because their lives aren't going as well as they want. And that's what's creating the tribalism.
Yeah, and demagogues exploit that to advance themselves. They provide them with a pseudo solution to what they see as their lot. But it's.
I have asked a couple of other people that I've been interviewing today as well. Do you think then that if you have been fed false information, and that then of course you're acting on that actually, not essentially that you're not responsible, but you're not really the one overwhelmingly at fault because you've been told something that's not true and you're just responding to that? Is that fair, or is that?
I think as rational human beings, we've got a responsibility to assess the information we've been given. We have to be critical thinkers, I think, and we're too passive.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
So I think there's a lot in that, and people don't often go into the depth of it generally. And people have their own priorities. They want what's right for their life, and we need to act globally for the good of all, if we can. People have their views. It is tribalism, and it is, I think, in some cases, because there are so many issues in society and so much more poverty than there was for all sorts of reasons, and certainly what is happening in the Middle East now with Trump is not helping. We're all feeling the pinch there. It isn't going to help, but people need to look at the broad picture, have a balanced view, and when it comes to taking action, just support one another. Racism has no place in a modern society. Hatred has no place. But and hate is often based on fear of the other, fear of what you don't know, fear of strangeness, instead of engaging and getting to know people and seeing them as potential friends and not potential foes.
Would you feel then that some of the people that are far right, or you might categorise far right, do you feel then that race is a component of that? Like that they're afraid, like as in terms of skin colour or because someone's nationality? Do you think that's a component of it?
It is for some, but I think others are tapping into that to promote their own agenda for other reasons. As you can see, I'm a member of the clergy, and certainly I speak always about wanting to unite together, to be united as people, and I cling to hope, and that's what we want. We want an equal society, and on the whole in London that's what we have. We value the diversity. It's one of the joys of living in a city, and no one should end that. We need to stand together on that, and those are the different views perhaps are in a minority, and it's good that those of us who have views of equality and justice and balance throughout society have come together in this way today and making such a powerful witness, even if we haven't moved an inch.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're a very tall man. It's hard not to get you in the shot. And he's in red. He's in a red jacket, trying not to get in the camera. How does that work? Tell me.
I just clearly made the mistake. My main fashion faux pas. I should be in brown or black.
This is the type of man who's at a party being like, don't look at me, don't look at me. Am I right?
Sort of.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, we're coming further up now to the front. There is still an absolute truckload of people, as the lady we just spoke to previously is, who we just spoke to previously. Even though they have not moved in quite some time, they're still all come together. And I have to say, guys, the crowds are just still getting as big as they were at the very start of it. Just have a flip around. As you can still see, all the crowd here is still coming absolutely down, filling up the street, right next to the world-famous Dorchester. Everything is happening. More signs again: stop war, stop fascism, no to war, no to Islamic regime, hands off Iran, hands to the Middle East, and I'm going to go the other way. Campaign against execution in Iran, London. Perfect. So, hello there, madam. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Can you tell me why you're here today?
Well, we are here. We are from campaign against execution in Iran, London, and we are here to say we are against war in Iran, but at the same time we are against the fascist Islamic regime in Iran. At the same time, there is no conflict, there is no paradox. You can be against the Islamic regime in Iran and you can be against the Netanyahu murderer and imperialism and war at the same time.
Okay, perfect. So really, as part of the movement, because there's a variety of people around here from all different causes, all different walks, you're coming here together because you want to make sure that, as people would say, peace in the Middle East. You want to make sure in Iran that what's going on now as well in terms of the Islamic regime, in terms of a theocracy as you would see it, that comes to a stop.
Yes, actually, well, as I said, the main point here, when we are here, to show even people in Iran that we are against war, but we can be against the Islamic regime in Iran. Because when the regime itself kills their own people, that regime cannot bring democracy, that regime cannot bring peace, that regime cannot bring calm for the people. The same, Netanyahu kills a lot of people in Gaza. Still, the Netanyahu or America or whatever, all those authoritarian countries, they can't bring peace for other countries' people. They can't bring calmness for other countries' people. That's why we are here, and just to show to all people in Iran, because we can see some of the people in Iran, monarchy, diaspora, they are supporter of the war, they are supporter of Netanyahu, but we are not. We are against both the Islamic regime and the war and Netanyahu.
Thank you very much. So guys, just had another interview there now as well. In terms of this case, it's basically more to focus on Iran. There's a little bit of rain. We don't know if we're going to get absolutely drowned in here. Sorry. We're basically going to find out now, see if we can get more opinions then as well. A lot of people then here for, when I mean all different causes, it really is. It is such a collage. Again, we're already only a few steps ahead and already there's even more flags. Let's turn around and have a little. I can feel eyes on me from the left-hand side. Sir, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
What are you working for?
Independent. Everyone keeps thinking I'm the BBC. I don't
yeah,
know whether because of that. Listen, I always say to people, when you're in a suit and shoes, people just treat you better. I don't know why it is. Yeah, because they're always happy to talk to you. When I show up, and if I'm dressed more casual, people are like,
what are you?
Independent, so journalist, independent journalist, that's it.
Yeah, and
yeah.
For what?
So for this, I'm basically coming down to get all the protests, a lot of them clearing out in London, but I was here today to talk to everyone to see why they're down here today, because there's so much variety in terms of why people are down here, and I want to know why. What made you get off on a gorgeous sunny Saturday in the afternoon to come down here?
Well, everybody loves the march, don't they?
Nothing more, nothing less to it than this.
No, there's a lot more to it. Okay. Yeah, you've got to say, the far right's terrible, so we've got to just show up and protest against it. Yeah.
For a lot of people here as well, one of the main questions I ask everyone, because I believe when you identify a group, what do you think are possibly a characteristic or some of the characteristics that would define the far right? Is it in terms of a person, people? Is it a movement? Do they think a certain way? Is it something in particular?
Do they think?
No. Think in a particular way. I'm hoping everyone.
Do they think at all? That's my point. Yeah. And they don't really like. I don't know. I think a lot of it's misinformation. I think they've sort of been left behind. But that just because you've been left behind doesn't mean you have to go far right. And I think they're sort of like populists. And I think the leaders are terrible because I think they take advantage of people.
Okay. Do you think so? A lot of people who may be supporting the far right are, as you would say, like disenfranchised. Their lives maybe aren't going so well, and therefore you're trying to take it out on someone else.
No, I don't think they're trying to take it out on someone else. I think they've been, they're not brainwashed, but it's like there's populism, and you say things are going to get better with us without having any solutions.
Right. So it's just saying what's going to get you votes rather than what's right.
Yeah, and it's anti everything. It's anti. Right. It's anti.
Right. And is it in terms of, for you, when you're coming here with everyone else, one of the main things I ask, because there's so many people from so many causes, do you think, obviously, in terms of this, that you have to have tolerance for everyone around you here? Would you also give that tolerance to people who are far right as well?
Oh, I'm not going to. Yeah, of course they can tolerate. I just disagree with them. But, they can think whatever they like. But yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Still coming up. Oh, sorry, sir. Still coming up all the way through the parade. Sorry. Thank you very much. Still moving through as well. This gentleman was very nice as well with another interview, just saying how he feels about the far right and obviously belief in terms of misinformation and how people are taking that out, and that politicians, leaders, councillors maybe, that they're using anything that will really get them votes rather than doing what's right and good for the country as well. So it's interesting to hear all the variety of opinions, and hopefully if we keep moving up we're going to hear a few more.
Who are you talking to?
Huh?
Who are you talking to?
I am getting interviews from the crowd. If you're happy to talk for 30 seconds, and just asking generally for people, why are you here today?
We are here from Seattle, Washington.
It's gone international as well.
Yes, indeed.
Why are you here? Oh, sorry.
Wouldn't be anywhere else today. Of course, we'd be at No Kings if we were on that side of the pond. But to be here and to support all these fabulous causes and all these fabulous people, but an excellent use of our very few days in London.
Yeah, who wants to go one of those crowded London attractions when you can be here in this crowded...
So you've decided to come from Seattle to come straight away to a march and a protest?
Yes. Rightio.
Right, that's how you spend your time, that's what you can do with it. So is it for you, because obviously I've said to everyone, there's a lot of different crowds together, a lot of different groups with a lot of different opinions. For you, what's the main reason that you decided to be part of this?
We are here for immigrant justice, so we gotta choose love.
Here we go.
We gotta choose love.
Choose love.
And we also are part of Indivisible.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Indivisible? Working against the authoritarian and the patriarchy and the autocracy and the dictatorship all trying to happen in the United States.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I'm here because I enjoy being married.
He's basically saying he's been brought by his wife. That's what he's politely said. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. We're hopefully near the front now at least, but now we're next to... I don't know how we're next to now. Sir, can you, 30 seconds, tell me which group you're with?
You have to speak to one of the head steward. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. Independent. Just independent. Yeah.
What?
Independent means just by myself. Yeah, there's no one else in behind.
If you want to speak to someone...
For YouTube. I put everything up on YouTube. Come to the protest, interview people, see what you're here for, see the motivations and get it out. That's it.
Can I direct you to the member of our political committee who takes
deals
any
with all
questions?
that? Yeah.
Sorry, who are you?
Yeah, Martin Gallagher. Happy to talk?
Who are you?
Martin Gallagher. Yeah.
And what do you do, Martin?
Yeah, so I'm basically coming here towards all of the protests. I'm basically just coming around to interview people, chat, see what they're here for. Like I always say, it's a Saturday afternoon, sunny. Why are you here today?
Because this is the biggest anti-racist march that's been held in this country for decades. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. You can see that every time you switch on the radio or the TV.
Right.
And we're seeing a connected increase in far-right activity in Britain. Britain is an anti-racist country. We're an anti-fascist country. We don't need Elon Musk and his ilk funding far-right organisations in this country. So this is a people's demonstration against the far right to say which side of the road are you marching on. We're marching on the left. We're marching for socialism. We're marching for peace, and we're marching for unity between people of all races and against the fascists and the far right who are trying to poison our political discourse in this country.
Yeah. One of the main questions I ask everyone that I've been talking to so far as well, when you say the far right, do you think it's a particular person, group of people? Is there a particular worldview that they have, or something that you say, look, this is how I identify them, this is the criteria?
Well, we'd say that the far right are being funded in this country mainly by United States oligarchs. I mean, the tech bros who have been funding mass demonstrations last year in Britain, whose algorithms fuel the racist and far-right discourse on social media, are definitely influencing our politics. So if you want names, I mean, obviously there's Musk, there's other, Musk, Thiel, others who are controlling the algorithm that basically controls discourse these days on social media, are centrally involved in trying to intervene to turn politics in this country in a particular direction towards the far right.
Okay. Also, as well, for you as well, as you'd said earlier, that you're against racism. Do you feel then people who are on the far right, do you think that's a component for them, that they are racist? Is it in terms of skin colour? Is it in terms of different nationalities? What would you think?
But it's always been a component within far right. I mean, going back to the 19th century, the far right in this country was fueled by anti-Semitism, by anti-Irish and anti-migrant ideologies, even until very recently, until when I was growing up in the 1970s and 80s, anti-Irish prejudice was a component of far-right organisations in this country. So that sort of prejudice is a common feature of... Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to pass with the baby.
That's got. Oh wait, there's another one behind you.
All right.
Oh wait, okay. You were saying, yeah. Prejudice being one of the components.
So prejudice is racial, national prejudice, and increasingly today, Islamophobia is a core component of far-right ideology. You find that across the West, quote unquote, but certainly in this country, in the United States, in France, Islamophobia is a sort of unifying theme for the far right.
Right. So for you, you're thinking, look, as you just mentioned, you're saying that they were anti-Jewish for some time, they were anti-Irish for some time.
Well, they still are anti-Jewish. They still are anti-Semitic.
So they're still continuing this on. But then, do you feel that people are just saying, look, I'm terrified of someone who's a Muslim just because they're Muslim? Do you think, in part anyway, that it's to do with anything that happened? Do you remember last year in Manchester, Jihad al-Shami, obviously, the Syrian individual who killed 2 Jewish people during Yom Kippur? Do you think that is also increased that then as well?
Well, the rise in Islamophobia is particularly linked to the fact that Britain and the United States have been fighting illegal wars in the Middle East, which are countries which are majority Muslim countries for much of the last 25 years. I mean, that's what's driving Islamophobia in this country. There have also been terrorist acts by Muslims in Britain, and we oppose those, and we're moving.
We're being moved. Finally now as well, we're underway for actually marching, so the protest is finally kicking off in terms of moving. Whoa, we are getting some scent from that little Grim Reaper guy. But as the last gentleman then said as well, talking is one of the best things as well, to go around, get different opinions from people, see why they're here, and that's obviously one of the most important things that we can do. So rather than being prejudiced ourselves, we're just chatting amongst individuals and then trying to get their opinions from that. This lady is far too happy to be on camera, far too happy. It's a cause for concern. Seems we're out of stances. Madam, any chance of 30 seconds?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. So can you just tell us, for everyone watching at home, why are you here today?
I'm marching for peace, love and unity, anti-fascism and against the far right. On behalf of Lewis, there was a whole load of us together, and I'm from Lewis Quakers as well. Okay. This is my first march ever. I've never marched before, but I just feel so strongly about what's happening that we need to march to show.
Was there anything in particular, a certain event or policy or politician that made you think, I need to get up and do this?
I think locally we've got Kroba, we've got a lot of the flags, and there's a lot of anti-immigration, anti-asylum seekers. We're all equal. We all should believe in peace, love and hope.
When you mean flag, do you mean the Union Jack English flag or?
There's lots of Union Jacks and George flags up around where I live, near where I live, and I'd like to reclaim that really.
Is that in terms of maybe like removing the flags, or is it just the sense of saying that when you fly the St. George's, the Union Jack, that it encompasses everyone?
I think the Union Jack and the St. George flag should be about everybody standing up for what's right, and everyone's welcome in our country. We're all equal.
So for you then as well, anyone who's come into Crowborough at the moment, do you feel that there are any safety concerns? Are they legitimate at all? Anything like that?
I don't think they're legitimate, but I think genuinely people are really worried.
And is it more because these are just literal strangers, they don't know them, and that's what's causing it?
I think it's a misunderstanding. People just get really worried about it. I mean, my next door neighbour and I, we talk. There's a genuine concern. People are really worried and they're not educated properly, and I think that's what we need to change.
So for you, in terms of education, do you think it's more in the sense of like befriending these people? Is it in terms of understanding why they're here to begin with, or maybe both, or something else?
I think we should definitely understand why they're here in the first place. I mean, nobody chooses to leave their home, do they? And I think we need to understand what refugees and asylum seekers are about. A lot of them have had like a really terrible time. I mean, even if people are economic asylum seekers, we should still respect them as people. We're all equal.
So for you, really, you just want equal treatment for everyone if they come into this country?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll get to the front of this crowd. It's probably never going to happen, but we'll try our best. Lovely good interview then again as well. This lady obviously from Crowborough, big case in there as well. And basically feeling that instead of judging or maybe turning around to anyone who comes in the country, that maybe something in terms of education should be done about it to obviously change the situation. More people now as well. Oh, just up ahead then as well. More. It's okay if I get your... So here we are as well. Care for Calais, refugees welcome. Oh, sorry. This lady's doing the same as myself. So all these people have come together then as well. So everyone's standing independent.
Who from though?
No, independent means just by myself. Yeah, not anyone else.
Who's it for though?
YouTube. That's what I do it for.
You need to go. You need to go.
Go where?
No, we don't want you on it. Move away. Move away. Move away. Move away. So the people who move away. Move away. Move away. We don't want you here. Move away.
Is there a reason why?
Yeah, because you're not representing anybody. You need to move away.
That's fine. No, I can ask.
You need to move away.
Okay,
we don't want you here. We move away.
But
Stop
why?
that. Huh?
But why?
Because you're not prepared to say who you're from.
No, I'm not from anyone. I'm representing myself. That's what I mean by independent.
Okay, we're here as a community. Move away, please.
No, I don't have to.
I'd like you to move
no.
away. You're not
I've talked to everyone from all different parts down here. No problems. If you want to walk away, walk away.
No,
yeah.
I'm stewarding for this block.
I'm filming myself, so it's not cost.
I'm asking you to move away.
I'm asking you to move away.
Because I'm stewarding for this block.
That's fine, but you can't just force me to go away. I'm not doing anything wrong.
I'm asking you, in the interest of the safety of the
That's nonsense.
Please move away.
Have I done anything wrong?
No, but...
No, there you go. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
For?
Thank you, madam. Yeah. A very rude individual. I don't know what his problem is, but why he's making a scene, I don't know. So cut the nonsense. So now we're going to see as well more people. We have more protests going ahead then as well. Let's see where we can get in from. Obviously, I have no idea what that person's problem was. Like I said, if you're not doing anything wrong, that's it. I'm not moving for no one. I'm happy to get everyone's opinion whether that man wants it or not. Okay, hopefully now we can get another bit of a move on and get towards the crowd. So yeah, this man here, big problem, big problem. Refugees are welcome, but not an Irishman. I'm not welcome though. Interesting that. We're in a bit of a deadlock. Hopefully we can move a little bit forward now in a minute, but still again, people are voicing their concerns. Another sign then as well. We have no arms to Israel, choose love. Campaign against climate change. We have another one of that. And resist fascism. Oh, and not okay with fascism as well, right in front of me. More people now as well. Let's see if we get some more interviews as well. DJ Booth, Why? Yeah. Unison Stand Together DJ booth, a new feature. All of a sudden then having a little part back. Who am I? Martin. Independent.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Check my Instagram. I don't have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We see your press.
I don't have a press.
Then we're going to ask you to get out of the block.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
He doesn't have a press. Did it not?
Yeah. Someone have been asking for a press card. You don't need one. You're in a public sidewalk. I can interview whoever I want. Yeah. So now this is the second time someone checking who I am. We're gonna follow this man. Oh! Are you sure? So these are the two men pushing me for no reason. Thank you very much. That's all right, brother. Let's have a little bit of footage. Thankfully, guys, we're still recording actually. Shit, who looks like the most observant? Sorry, officers.
Hello.
How are you? I was dragged up to the home. For that reason, I just got attacked. I don't know why. I just ended up getting attacked. I'm going around just interviewing people, big conversation, everything. Ripped off the top of this and damaged the shit out of this and took the head of this.
Someone did that to you?
Yeah. Out of nowhere. 3 guys on one. I've literally just had them on recording. But all of a sudden, I'm just up in one of the groups. Yeah. I just surrendered like 1 year and I was like 3 and 14. No, this is actually a broken part, I'm afraid. Yeah, okay. Thank you anyway.
annoying.
Yeah, it is bloody annoying, isn't it?
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Did they hit you?
Oh, no, it's a genuine question we asked everyone.
It's not that serious.
Did they what did they do? Did they just grab back?
Yeah, they just turned around and started snatching it. I was like, no. And like I was saying, one of the guys just turned around and he was like, who are you with? And I said, I'm independent, guys. That's the point of being on dead corpses. And he was just like, can you move along? And I said, that's the point about being on a protest.
Yeah.
He started making a scene, and I was like, no, brother, that's not how it works either. I was like, I'm here to chat to people. That's the bloody point of doing it. And then what next happened then as well is, I was just walking up a little bit ahead. All these people around, that's absolutely fine. And then in 1 minute, one guy gets a speakerphone, just starts blaring it into the camera for whatever reason. I'm still recording. Blaring it into the bloody camera, and I was like, that's fine, like, you don't have to talk. Like, that's the point, though. You are going to be. And then afterwards.
Okay, do you want a wipe or anything?
Oh, yeah, maybe actually. Shit, yeah, I suppose it's probably damaged.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't see that either.
So we'll get you another just to clean it up.
Thanks very much.
What's your name, sir?
So, guys, we're really just going to finish up here now for the last bit of it. Any of those people who just attacked me and damaged my fucking equipment, thank you very much to the officer. Ended up damaging the middle finger, ended up damaging this part of my hand, took a nice little bit of skin off. They've taken obviously name details and hopefully going to figure something out. Obviously beyond that now I can't really do anything else or do anything much else. So yeah, absolute crazy day. Never in a million years did I think that someone would literally assault someone just for stopping and talking to people. How wild is that? So I'm literally, hopefully, doing it in not only a professional manner, but a very easygoing, light manner. Like I said, if someone doesn't want to talk to me, I move on. I'm never antagonising someone. I just want to chat with them. But the fact then that 3 random guys come in and attack you is absolutely wild. I'm very fortunate that I kept this. I imagine hopefully if they catch them, it can go to court. God willing, it does. But yeah, absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. So wherever you go in London now, stay safe.